Alright everyone, welcome back to another video. This is going to be my final VCT LCQ tier list. This one's going to be for the Pacific League, as you can kind of tell by the teams. I've already done EMEA and Americas, so if you enjoyed this, go check those videos out. But this one was by far the hardest one. I'm definitely going to make some people angry with this one, because it was going off a lot of feeling rather than like results and logic and like how the teams actually looked last split. It's going to be a lot of projecting improvement for these teams, especially the teams that were towards the bottom. Because I do have some teams that were towards the bottom that I think will do fairly well at this event. So yeah, if you guys enjoy, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Go check out the other videos as well. I'm going to be doing my pick'ems for every single league after this. As I'm recording this, the pick'ems aren't out for EMEA or Pacific, but the EMEA bracket is out, so I should be able to do those soon. Uh, and I'll do Americas probably right after recording this, but regardless, let's get right into it. Alright, sorry for the cut at the end there. I thought I didn't start recording, but my mouse button was hovering over the stop recording button on OBS, so it just confused me, and I didn't want to have that at the end of the intro. But yeah, we'll start at the bottom here in D tier. Pretty obvious D tier, Detonation Gaming on their own, or Detonation Focus Me, whatever the hell they're called. Um, I don't really care that much about it because this team they're just not going to win a game. It's kind of sad, but if they win a game, I would be shocked. Uh, so yeah, and if they win more than one game, I don't even know what to say at that point. But regardless, I mean, I don't have a ton to say. They went 0-9. They suck. Time for a rebuild, guys. And then in C tier, I have RRQ, and this is where I'm gonna start making people angry. I had to check exactly where they finished in terms of. I mean, they were like just out of playoffs. In the regular season, yeah, they finished seventh, ahead of some other teams that are above them in this. But I don't think it's their fault that they're in C tier. I think you could argue that there's no C tier team and there's a gap between Detonation and the other teams, and I'm actually going to agree with that and change this on the fly. But yeah, RRQ are a good team. I just don't think their individuals are going to be good enough to win an event here in Pacific, even with this being one of the worst regions, or not one of the worst regions because there's only three, but like one of the most top heavy regions, you'll say. Like, yeah, DRX, Paper X, T1 are decent. Uh, and I think Team Secret is pretty good, as I'll talk about later. And maybe some of the playoff teams are decent, but like the teams that didn't make the playoffs, I don't think they're as bad as the EMEA ones, but they're not good. So yeah, I'm gonna move them up to B tier. Here, they'll be my lowest B tier team. And then we have Global next, ahead of them, which is a hot take, but I'm projecting a lot of improvement here. I have a lot of faith in Aaron as an IGL. I thought SK Rossi was pretty good, despite the everybody getting mad at him for absolutely no reason. I mean, like he was good when he played. When he didn't play, then it was. I mean, there wasn't really much to speak of. I really believe in Texture as a Sentinel player. I think he was amazing on Jet. I would rather him be playing the Jet here, but I thought his Killjoy was actually pretty good. I would like to see them run some maybe like some double duelist comps where SK Rossi, I think he can play Raze. I'm pretty sure that was in his agent pool, and then like Texture on the Jet, and then they fill in from there maybe with Aaron on like a split, maybe Aaron on Viper, somebody like Meunier playing the Astra, and then somebody else plays the Sky. I don't know if my smoke detector just went off for a second, so sorry if you heard that. Maybe I'm going crazy. But next up, we have Talon in B tier, which is going to be another one that might make people angry, but I don't remember exactly where I had them in my power rankings, but I had them like, I thought they were going to make playoffs going into that Super Week. They were actually getting really good by the end of the year. Uh, but I think it was that last game where, no, it was the RRQ game where they decided to play stupid comps again for no reason. Even though it was going well. Like, yeah, they played the Harbor Viper on Ascent, and then they played Raze on Haven with petty pun on that. I don't know. It just didn't make sense towards the end of the season for them. Or they were playing troll comps to start, and they were also trolling just individually, and then they had a streak in the middle of the season where they started to like recover that, and then at the end of the year, in those last that was not what I meant to do. Um, in those last two Super Week games, they just trolled their comps and it caused them to miss playoffs. So this is projecting some improvement, and I think they will take a level up here at LCQ. I'm not sure about winning it, but I do think they have some of the better individuals out of any teams here. And then in A tier, I originally had this team in B tier, but now that I moved RRQ up to B tier, I think they do deserve A tier, and I'm going to put Zeta in A. Another team with better individuals than the rest, I think this is where you start getting to teams that can win the event, uh, like Zeta, Genji, and Team Secret. Uh, Obviously, their playoff run was very disappointing. Uh, Everybody wanted them to make Tokyo, but they ended up missing out with some. I don't think they played that bad. Like they didn't play well. Obviously, there was some hate for some players on that team at the end of the season, but overall, I think if they fix some of their like wider issues in terms of like actually having an identity, maybe some of the roles get Laz back on Chamber, uh, since that seems to be back in the meta, or getting back into the meta. Like obviously, Chamber is being played more even without the buffs, and I think the Chamber buffs are going to be live for LCQ. So maybe do that. Kind of try to return to your old roles from Reykjavik and try to repeat that maybe. But I think they're the least likely out of these three to win the event. And then I also have Gen G in A tier, a team that I was very low on all season. To be fair, like they were doing well the first. I think they were 4-0, and then they went up against DRX, and people were crediting them to beat DRX, which didn't make any sense to me. They lost that game. They won a map in it, to be fair, but then they like had a few bad weeks as well, and then towards the end of the year, they like they won some games, and then won a playoff game as well. And I mean, it was close fashion against Genji and Team Secret, or against T1 and Team Secret. Team Secret they ended up winning, but I don't see this team as like the clear favorite, obviously, which is where I have Team Secret hovering between this S and A tier, and I'm gonna put them in S tier just because this is the team that I've believed in from the start. I think Envy is an insane player, their flex player, and if they get him on more like not Viper roles, which they were playing him in the last map of their whole split, I think they should be the favorites here in my eyes. Obviously, a lot of people think probably from the outside. I mean, people that don't watch a lot of Pacific, maybe Zeta or Gen G to be favorites. Um, Obviously, not a lot of people know about the other teams just because they're lower tier Pacific teams. And like people probably remember Gen G doing well against Loud at lock in, and then obviously everybody remembers Zeta, and they did decent. So I think Secret is the best IGL team out of every team. I think they have pretty set roles outside of like their duelist swapping between like Dubstep will play the Jet, and then the Killjoy when Jeremy's playing the Raze, and then Jeremy will play the Killjoy when Dubstep's playing the Jet. Um, but I don't think that's too bad of a swap because I think both players are good at Killjoy and both players are good at those duelists. So if you would rather have like them playing those agents, then I'm fine with it. Um, yeah, I don't know. I don't think there's too much else to say. I think Secret is pretty clearly the best team in my eyes, but I think people will disagree with that. Uh, Genji did look pretty good towards the end of the season, so I think if they keep that form, they'll be right up there with Secret. Zeta, if they fix some issues, again, same thing, right up there with Secret. I think Talon definitely has that best chance from B tier to win the event. I think the other teams could do well, but again, I just don't see Detonation doing anything as well. So, yeah, with that, that'll be the end of the video. Leave a like, subscribe, go check out the other videos. Yeah, I'll see you in the next one for my America's Pick'ems. Peace.